Hey guys, welcome to this next series of 30 minutes practice, and this time round is going to be rest and restore, and it really helps you do some light stretches and to allow your body to come back to reset mode, if you might call it. So I've got a few props with me here. One tennis ball, two blocks, yoga blocks, one neck support, typically the types that you use when you take the airline or on a plane. And you have a folded blanket here, which is very good for you to support your body. And finally, a pillow, slightly hard, so that you can lie down on them comfortably. So what I'm going to do is to start with the breathing by sitting on the folded blanket or the towel. So make sure that you have the rounded side tilted towards the front. So we're very softly sitting, leaning forward with the pelvic slightly towards the front edge. Engage your knees and the thighs, stretch your arms out, and begin to soften the eye gaze where we begin our breathing sequence. Now simply bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Soften the elbows on the side body. And acknowledge the presence of relaxing down on the mats. Acknowledge that with your hands hugging onto your chest and your navel, you can use that to almost soothe and calm your bodies down. What I like to share is a lot of us have thoughts in our mind, wondering what we're going to have to do next. So focus on something, or focus on even a daily chore that you have to do, and just gradually imagine that the chore's done, or the chore's simply not of relevance and importance right now. Focusing on your breath, so focus on now, so breathe in and out through your nose. And then begin to feel your body reacting into your hands, into your arms. And when you're ready, start to lengthen the arms down forward and just keeping the palms upright, softening the shoulders, elbows, right down through to your fingertips. Taking a few more breaths. And finally you begin to feel a little bit more of that weight of your body being supported by the mat. And you gradually find more awareness of the setting and of the environment around you. Good. Let's gradually open up our eyes, and we begin a light stretch of our body. Clasp your hands together and round the ribs into the back wall as you punch your palms forward, and stay holding there. Engage a light draw of the belly and the navel into your mid-spine, keeping the spine arched as you stretch the upper back, your shoulders and the arms. On the next inhale, gradually rise, and exhale, soften the elbows even. You want to bring the clasped hand and the palms behind your head And try to lift up your eye gaze slightly, supporting your hands behind your head and keeping the chin, eye gaze slightly tilted up and back. So you draw your chest wide. This could be an evening practice or a morning practice when you hunch your back sitting down on the chair or the office table. Alright, lift the head up next and drop your hands down gradually to your lower back. Clasp your hands slightly behind the back. Keep the elbows soft and then lightly stretch out and away towards the side. Breathe and extend. And hold. Good. On the next inhale, drop the fingers down to your left side, arch the right arm over, hold a light stretch to your side, and breathe. Stay. Good. Just pick up the head and lean over to the opposite shoulder. So pick up the left fingers and give your side neck a light stretch. Give it a light hold, feel the body long, and then just drop down the hands to your right side, left arm arch over. Breathe easy, side ribs, opening the body as you stretch all the way down to your side waist and the hips line. Good, breathe in, hold the side hip, pull up, breathe out, lean towards the other side, just lighten the fingers diagonally down towards the floor. Now the important thing is to feel the side neck stretch all the way down to that neck, arching again towards your front desk as you're sitting on the chair using your mobile phone. Good. On the next inhale, release your hands, lighten it and come on up. Keep your shoulders light stretch back. And light stretch forward. Now before we roll off the seated tower, just join the palms slightly overhead, gaze up. As you look forward, open cactus arms, bend left elbows forward, right stacks above, light twist, lift it and lean forward to your eagle's hunch. Elbows towards your front ribs, and then just feel the elbows slightly supported to your navel and stretch the upper back. Breathe in, rise, breathe out, release. Change sides on the right, stack left above, lightly lean forward and the elbows towards the front. Good. Stay and breathe, hold. Very nice. Lift up and exhale, release. Now very simply, you're going to put some of the props that you don't need for now. All you need now is 2 blocks and 1 tennis ball. So what I'm going to do right now is to take the 2 blocks and just put it next to your thighs. Okay, seated long and tall. And what you want to do is to bend your left knee in on the seated single leg forward fold. Now on the leg that has the knee bend, you want to place that single tennis ball under your butt cheeks, supported on top of the towel or the folded blanket. You want to lift the blocks high so you can rest your forearm on it like an airplane armchair. Alright? So drop the elbows forward, forearm forward. And begin to soften the shoulders and the arms. And just what this single leg forward fold does for you is that it releases all that strain in the pelvic joint, obviously on the bent knee side, if you haven't realized it, and begin to release the muscles around the wrapping muscles around the hip joint towards your knees and the thighs. And that's what often we call the soleus muscles, wrapping around the hip joint. And it really releases that sore hip, that sore butt that you've been sitting down on the chair for the whole day, with the tennis ball lightly pressing up against your glutes, your butt cheeks, and down towards your blanket. So you can relax the upper body, keep the arms relaxed, keep the shoulders relaxed, and just drop down. And a couple more seconds here before we switch sides. Good. On the next inhale, turn your palms and arms back, press on the block lightly and lift up. All you need to do, guys, is to simply change sides. Keep the block out and then roll it back in if you want. Bend the right knee this time, left leg stretch out, lift up the right butt cheek, and then adjust the tennis ball right on the right butt cheek. Now, you don't really need to place it right into the butt cheek itself. What you can do is to adjust it nearer to the outside, yeah, of your thighs as well. Lengthen arms forward, soft arms on the block, again palms facing up. Now you might wonder why palms facing up. So it's for your shoulders to slightly external rotate, keeping your chest upright instead of dropping it down so you hunch your shoulders forward. You see that? So that doesn't work. You want to open up, drop down, relax and breathe. And hopefully here for the next minute and a half, what you can begin to feel is that light tingling feeling down the side hips, side hip joint, the thighs, from the glutes all the way up to your hip joint. Restorative practice is about getting into a position, it's about getting into it and the process of getting into it and the process of letting go, so that your body can recover, so that your body can know and understand where the stretch is needed most, the therapy is needed most. Right, good. Turn your palms back, release, come on up. Good. We're just transitioning to a series of light active stretches, you might call it, before we come back to lying down again. So what we're going to do next is to turn the body around towards the front edge. Now the folded towel sits right in the middle of the mat. Lengthen that, so that's going to be what I call the knee support. So stack your knees right above it. So a lot of people, some people who are suffering from knee injuries have soft and very delicate knee joints. That's a very good practice for you. And if you have ankle pain, flatten your foot down at the back, okay? Keep your hands under the shoulders, breathe in, and simply arch the tailbone up and lead to your cow stretch. So typically what we do is to accentuate that lumbar spine, that lower back, into that deep arch. You want to keep the tailbone up and just keep it arched down, and it really helps in terms of neutralizing your lower back again, if you might call that. Good. And very gradually take your time to tuck the tailbone and then round it and tuck the ribs in. Push down. Now the focus now lifts to your upper chest, your back. And you really want to pull up towards the ceiling by pressing your hands slightly down towards the mat. And feel that elongation there. Good. Now on the next inhale, you want to neutralize the back, and then just take a light stretch of your left leg back. You want to just lightly touch your toes at the back of the mat, and just firm it with your toe tuck, or even flatten your 5 toes down at the back. And then use your arms, your back toes, to lightly rotate the body side to side, and change direction, and firm that top quads, and give that hamstrings and the calves a light stretch. Alright, drag it back. Change sides. Toes point or toes tuck at the back of the mat, so you want to just glide arms, legs, toes, and then gradually change sides. Good. Drag the knees back. Now we're just gradually coming back to kneeling lunge, but before you do that, hopefully you can see here in the camera, what you want to do is to turn and flatten the top part of your palm down to counter stretch your top wrist. Again, all that using on the computer keyboard, all that using on the mobile phone, the counter stretch of the wrist is really going to help you. Alright, effectively open up your palms again. And if you want to add on more, turn the fingers out to your side and lightly press the top of your palm down towards the mat. Now if it's too hard and it's too much, just retract from it and come up using your body weight, okay? Now turn the palms back, other side, flat palms. Just give it a light wriggle, right compress, like kneading something against the mat. Turn the fingers out to the other side. Good, and flatten back. Now we're simply going to come to a kneeling lunge, your left leg lunge forward. And again, flatten your toes at the back to relax your ankle. And we want to compress And lightly press your palms together at the front knee and really like drag the front knee forward. And you can feel that light stretch behind your pelvic floor, and lift the chest and rest your arms. It's important not to hold on with straight arms and keeping the elbows soft, but pressing the palms out sideways and lean forward. Good. And when you're ready, just lightly clasp your hands at the back and punch down. Lift the ribs, shoulders back and down, a light shoulder blades drawing, and even lift up your head and open up your chest. And release, come back down, and fingers down to the floor, a light stretch of the base of your leg into your modified monkey pose, half monkey pose. Lean forward, palms engage and drag the foot back. Good, change sides. Leg forward, relax the toes, come on up, palms join, lean forward, knees to the front edge, and really feel that pelvic hip joint at the back leg. Stretch forward and out. And again, you did that in the lower back before with the cow lift or the tailbone lift, and now the front side. So it's important to stretch the front and backs of the body as well. Hands clasped, punch back, lift the eye gaze forward lightly and up. At this point, what I want to make you be aware of is that some people might have neck pain and you can't really stare up. So an option is to clasp your hands behind the head and lightly lift. That stretch that when you've done at the beginning of the class, as you hold your hands clasped behind the head. So that's a good option as well. Good, one more breath here. And release your hands down, hold with the fingers or the palms, stretch the front leg back, and a light half monkey stretch down the base of your front leg. Breathe gently. Good. Bend the knees back, glide the legs back. Bend the knees up to the edge of the towel, big toes together. Drop your palms and join the palms together on the mid-mat. So what I want you to do is attempt to drop your forehead, drop your chin, drop your neck, and arch down between your forearm like a diamond V shape along the mat. And just attempt to keep the prayer's hands on the upper mid-back. Walk your elbows forward. Try and stretch the upper back. And you engage your palms on the base of the top mat. Keep your head down, keep your neck down, keep it relaxed. And turn your palms back. On the next inhale, next you'll draw it back and lift. Good. Now this time I just want you to extend your palms back to all fours again. Just that final lift, press in your cat-cow stretch. Whatever you like, lifting the tailbone or hugging the tailbone under. Okay? Good. Alright, transitioning to one of my favorites, the full restorative lying down on the mat. So what you want to do is to get off your all fours, and the first of the 4 poses that I want to show you is really that pelvic floor, that pelvic joint lift off the floor. So you want to take just one block next to your mat. Alright? Now put it, lie down with knees bent. Let me put the timer on. And what you want to do is to keep the feet hip width, let the head go down. And at this point of time, if you want the blanket to support your head, again the curvy side will come down to the base of your neck. Yeah? Good. So once you're down, hold your hips, squeeze the butt, lift the hips halfway, and you really want to see if you want to come up to a strong elevated hip supported bridge or a softer one with a flatter block down. So if you're not ready yet, keep it low, and if you're ready, keep it high. Now where to place? The bony part just above your crack line, okay? That's called the sacrum. So engage that sacrum bone right into the middle of the lifted block, support it, and when you're stable, what I want you to do is to walk your feet outwards and drop the knees in. And then just keep the elbows down on the floor. Hands and fingers just hold on to your sideways,
And you can just softly holding on to the crease of your hips. And the body weight is going to go down towards the top part of your body, and that's why the folded blanket is really good. It gives you that soft cushion to hold down through to your hip, dropping the knees in by relaxing the hips in. And this pose, it's elevated, it stretches your hips, but at the same time you feel protected when you hold your hands and you hold your knees in. So I want you to just try and stay here where you can for 1.5 minutes. Again, conscious relaxation as what we learn from our restorative practice is really, really important. If you feel like fidgeting, you can just move a little bit, otherwise just attempt to relax in whatever comfortable position that you're getting into from here in the elevated hip bridge. Alright, just one more for the last 30 seconds to show you how we can transition from this to another hip bridge pose, is to flatten the block lightly. Again, you want to sort of come down halfway instead of going straight down to the mat, is to lower it down to another level, and it's to straighten the knees up and really drop your toes outwards away from the mat so you can feel that hip crease slightly stretch out to your side, but your thighs are quite relaxed. And at this point of time, if you don't feel vulnerable, what you want to do is to open your arms with your palms facing out, drop the elbows, and relax down on the floor. Alright, time's up for this. I want you to bring you to another pose, so if you're comfortable, you can relax here in the pose as well for even up to 5 minutes really if you want to. Now, how to get out of it? Bend the knees, bring the arms back to your side body, use your palms on the feet to engage, lift the hips by squeezing them, pushing your hip, glide the block outwards and take it away, okay? So always go easy when you come up. Palms, top palm come forward, press up and slightly walk up. Good. Now, the final 7 minutes, I want to show you a seated bound, or rather lying bound angle pose, and it's really, really good for your practice either first thing in the morning to open up your chest, your hips, or in the evening when you feel sore again by sitting down the whole day. Alright, good. So a block long for your head and a flat long like a T shape. Alright, so one on the top is for your head, the flat T shape is for your upper back and your scapula around the shoulder blades region. Now if you want a soft support, start to take a pillow, place it over the T shape. Alright? And again from here, lean back against it. So you want your hip joint towards the bottom edge of the pillow, bend the knees to lie down safely. And how do you feel when that block start to open up the chest on the T shape and that pillow, alright, start to hold you at the top block where your head is. And when your blanket is accessible, what I want you to do is to bring it in, stack it up, round edge crease to your front side. And what you want to do this time is to press the soles of the feet together, very highly supported on the upper body. Let your hip joint relax down towards the floor and the mat. And then you just want to rest here. Alright, let me put my timer on. Good. 3 minutes in this pose. And again, it's very simple. Fingers to the crease of the hips. Drop the elbows. And sort of like a self-help here to see how much can you open up, right? So if your hips are tight, your knees will be sticking up. What do you do then? Bring the joint feet slightly away. And there you go, the knees are further down now, alright? So over time, you can bring your joint feet in closer and the hip joint is wider. Just relax here. Soft breath. So I must admit here, very often we don't get to even sleep in this upright posture, and just lying down here is really quite blissful. Alright, just about 10 more seconds. Good. Again, with every opening, there should be a closing. So what I want you to do is to release your hands from the crease of the hips and slightly bend the knees up together. Get a moment to rest there and let your thighs and the knees acknowledge that, hey, it's back up again. And then just walk your feet up. That's what you did before. Bend the knees in together. And this time, remember the hand to chest, hand to navel. Just hug them in and drop the elbows down. So it's a closed position, even though the back is lifted, even though the chest is widened. So if you feel vulnerable in this hip bridge, or rather reclined bound angle pose, this one's really good for you. Okay. Just relax. Again, engage in a very simple thought of something, even a chore, if you have to let your mind wander. See, it's a very comfortable pose that I'm beginning to drift off, and sometimes you'll find yourself dozing off, but just remember to set an alarm so they can get out of it in time, or you'll be sleeping there for quite a while. Okay? So how to get out of it again, walk your feet in together, stack your knees, bend knees towards the floor, and start to peel the body weight off. Now the reason with the pillow and the blanket is that you can feel light and then you can breathe and take it up, lean the body, slightly come forward. Good. And what I want to just finally explain to you on staying in these postures or transitioning into your lying down cough pose, Shavasana, that it's very simple. Again, you can play around with the props, alright? What it should do is that it should support you nicely and not work against you. Now pillow away, and before I leave you, I'll show you a final one. All blocks, major props away. Remember this airplane pillow that you have around the neck? What you can do is to bend the knees again, lie down, really acts as a good support for your neck. Lengthen your legs out. Toes turn out, arms by your side. And just relax the whole body down. Alright, and again you can set an auto timer to rest in this position. After you finish all your restorative poses that I've gone through with you, prior to that, some light stretches, and think about your restorative practice as something that you need to reset, recharge, and hopefully that makes you feel a lot better. Alright? Thank you.